Just download and subscribe.
After a largely dormant night of sports, we are back with a vengeance tonight. In the NBA, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Heat and the Celtics. Miami took the first game. Celtics 2.5-point favorites in Game 2. In the other Eastern Conference Finals game, it's the Lightning once again trying to close out the Islanders, who won Game 5 to force this Game 6. The Lightning still pretty heavy favorites here, minus 170. The Islanders plus 150. In the NFL, we kick off Week 2 tonight with an AFC North division showdown, an Ohio battle between Cincinnati and Cleveland. Now, the home team, Browns, are 6-point favorites. The over-under 43.5. Kickoff tonight is at 8:20 Eastern Time. Got a little grab bag of picks from the Wizard of Odds, Kenny White. We begin in the NFL. Kenny, a lot of people in the newsroom today, they think the Bengals are going to be a little feisty tonight and like the Bengals plus 6. I feel the opposite. I feel like this is a bounce-back game for the Browns, and they're going to win easily. What say you?
Well, I'll tell you what, the one thing the Browns have going for them is they played a much tougher opponent in Week 1, so you got to throw the scores out. It really doesn't matter, and you got to trust your handicap. But I tell you what, Chris, the Cincinnati Bengals defense is pretty good. I think they're going to be as good as the Browns. I have the Browns offense rated slightly higher, but there's not a big difference between the talent on these two teams, and it might be in the quarterback position, Mayfield over Joe Burrow, and it's about a 3-point difference, and that's what I have in the two teams, a 3.5-point difference. There's no revenge. These teams split last year, but it is a big rivalry. We're so early into the season. There's so much unknown. I'm not laying any favorites, Chris. I'm not laying points. I'm going to try to make a case for underdogs in almost every single game. And you're going to give me 6 points in a rivalry. I'm with the rest of the cast. I'm against you tonight. I'll take those Bengals.
All right, I'm on the island tonight thinking the Browns are going to win comfortably. In the NBA, we have Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics drop Game 1.
Yeah, HQ, welcome in with Jonathan Jones, CBS Sports senior NFL writer. I'm Eric Casillas, and how do you like Orange? How do you like Ohio? How do you like Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks who were #1 overall picks? We had a lot of that going on Thursday Night Football.
We did, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed the game. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, but I did like it.
How did it go? It certainly went a little more, let's say, cleaner, nicer, better play than you might expect. Those are your quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow, battle of those two. And early on, Baker says, oh yeah, here we go. Rolling left off the play action. Odell Beckham Jr. You kind of forgot about him. I feel like it's been like a year and a half since he did something on Monday night against the Jets and really hadn't done anything else. You thought it was a touchdown. It wasn't. He was short. But they called it a touchdown. Stood. Fine. Whatever. Important if you had fantasy. Anyway. Then, ensuing Bengals drive, Burrow says, oh, yeah, well, how about I get into the end zone? C.J. Uzomah, down the left sideline, 23 yards. That's Joe Burrow's first ever touchdown throw. Then, hello and welcome. Baptism by another #1 overall pick, Myles Garrett, with the strip. Browns are covered at the 1. First turnover by either team. Nick Chubb, it felt like he had like 14 carries from the 1 and finally got in. Actually got in twice on the night. 22 totes, buck 24, 2 TDs. But, you know, since he didn't quit, 6 minutes left, first to go from the 4. Mike Thomas on the slant for the 4-yard touchdown. His first NFL touchdown. It's 28-23. Overhit on that one. But you got to get stops if you want to win the game, and they couldn't get stops. Ensuing Browns drive, Kareem Hunt, his second TD of the game, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. So Chubb and Kareem Hunt, how about 4 touchdowns combined? Browns, 35-30, your final. Bengals cover with less than a minute to play on a touchdown to Tyler Boyd, an extra point. That is the ultimate backdoor cover. Yeah, how about that? It was also the most popular wager on William Hill, so a lot of people were very happy. I can't say I was one of them. The over cashes as well. But Burrow, his first 300-yard game as a pro, 3 touchdowns, did have that fumble that was costly. Baker Mayfield throws an interception for the 8th straight game, and nobody else has more than 4 straight games. That's a string he'd like to see broken, but he'll take the win, and that's the most important thing. Here are the quarterbacks after the game.
The hype is real with Joe. I thought he played extremely well. Just being decisive, keeping plays extended, taking care of the ball. I thought, he did a great job. So it's always good to see another young guy come in and take over. And obviously that team loves him. They follow him, and he leads them.
This might be the only time in my sporting career that I've lost 2 games in a row. Doesn't feel very good. I know the guys in there are hurting. We're going to come back to work tomorrow and try to get this thing right. Losing is unacceptable to me, to everybody in there, to Coach Taylor, to everybody in this organization. So we're just going to have to get it fixed.
Now let's go beyond the box. Cleveland's starting to own the Bengals a little bit. Won 4 of the last 5 in this one. Bengals just don't play well on the highway. That's 14 straight losses for Cincy going on the road. Joe Burrow's going to need to ice the old arm after this one. How about 61 pass attempts? That's most by any rookie since Chris Wenke, fellow Heisman Trophy winner, Florida State, 2001. Remember, Wenke played like 18 years of baseball and then went back to play college football and got it done. You see your winners. Cincinnati +6 because even though we lose by 5, you know what we say, good teams win, great teams cover, and the over came in quite comfortably.
Remember the